Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social, in association with William Hill and Empire Fight. So I'm delighted to be joined by Oleksandr Usyk's manager, Alex Krassyuk. Alex, you're back here. Anthony Joshua, Jermaine Franklin, didn't expect to see you here. Just here because you like the boxing, or is this some business to do?
First of all, I'm a boxing fan myself, so I can't miss this opportunity to be inside all these things that are going on here. And number two is that if you have a champion who is the unified champion in the heavyweights, you have to keep your eye on what's going on. And Matchroom are my big friends. I was in London, so I just couldn't miss the event.
Is Oleksandr now? We hear he's back in Kiev, back in the Ukraine. We hear there's still a lot going on in the Ukraine. Is he safe, well, and okay?
Yeah, thanks God, he's safe, and even safer than anyone could imagine. And I'll tell you why. He's been in training camp for 3 months, even more, since December, because initially the fight was expected to take place in late February, early March. So he's been training, getting himself prepared for the biggest fight of his career, and probably the biggest fight that could happen in boxing this century. But it didn't take place, as everyone knows, so he was a bit exhausted mentally and physically, and when he just touched the ground, his native soil, he got back again immediately, the same moment, because he called me when he crossed the border, and I felt the considerable difference.
We've seen comments that you've made saying, look, I saw an interview you did recently saying, look, nobody say anything about Tyson, that it's just the deal's just not happened. So can I ask you, are we still working towards a deal with Tyson Fury in the background? Are you still going to be trying with Frank Warren? Because originally this was for Saudi Arabia. Everybody knows the Middle East is a lot more money. Ultimately, is that what this comes down to, more money? Because Usyk would earn a lot more money fighting in Saudi than he would here in Wembley.
If, let's say, if professional boxing doesn't have any money, it means it's amateur boxing. So it's the difference, the essential difference between the professional and amateurs is that these guys fight for money. But the big thing in boxing is the legacy, is the history, is the heritage, that you one day you retire, but your heritage stays in boxing, like Lennox Lewis now said. So these guys have to fight each other, and these guys, some of them have to pick up my crown, because I'm the latest and the only one in 25 years undisputed heavyweight champion.
Do you believe Tyson Fury cares about legacy?
Tyson Fury has a chance, but he has to prove it, not on his words, but on his actions. But he has a chance, same like Usyk, he has a chance to become the historical personality. With all the respect, you can't become the best fighter only by talking.
What are the chances we see this fight? In your heart of hearts, you've been back and forth in negotiations. You seem to get the fights done with Anthony Joshua fairly smoothly. This one, not so much. Is this all about timing and making sure we get it at the right time? Because, like we mentioned, the money in the Middle East is a considerable amount more. So is it now time to maybe liaise with them again and see if they can find an appropriate date for you, Team Usyk, Team Fury, and to go from there?
If we get a chance to fight at the end of the year for the Undisputed, we will use it 100%. I mean, even if it's not Saudi Arabia and if the money is not that big. This time we were just not able to make it. And I tried to explain the real reasons on an example with Lamborghini. So if you try to buy the car that you want and someone owns it, and you want to buy it so badly, you are ready to overpay, and you make this offer, and when the other side just jumps in, realizing what kind of advantage they can take from your desire, so that's it makes some troubles. That's why actually this fight is not happening on April 29th.
Is there a concern that when negotiations restart or carry on, that when we get to this rematch clause, if there is going to be one, because there will probably only be one shot at Undisputed, because once you've had that fight, all the belts are going to be probably fragmented anyway, because there's a certain amount of mandatories, Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois. So, in terms of a split in a rematch, is that going to be another sticking point, another roadblock in the way, or do you think we can get this done?
I tell you what my first offer was, 50-50 for 2 fights. I tell you why, because initially the rematch clause came up from Tyson's side. We never argued about it because it was a good idea to have a rematch.
Yeah.
But if we make it a 50-50 on both fights, it means that the guys don't need to care about money. They just need to care about boxing. So they know for sure whatever they lose or win, they still get the same amount of money. And my idea of this was that Tyson Fury is not a big rematch taker. So we've seen him in the past avoiding rematches, like with Wilder, with Klitschko. So that would leave some additional incentive for him not to pull out just for some reasons that stay out of boxing.
But you concede in obviously negotiations when he asked for 70-30, Tyson's basically trying to say, look, I'm an overwhelming A side here in comparison to Usyk. Usyk brings 3 belts and he's achieved some incredible things in boxing, but he's obviously trying to say, look, if I walk down the street anywhere in the UK and we're having this fight in the UK, 99% of the people will probably know me in comparison to Oleksandr, and that's no disrespect to Oleksandr. So he's pound for pound, one of the best.
But let me try to answer this way. Let's imagine Tyson Fury is supposed to fight Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
What's gonna be the split?
Tyson's currently world champion, so he would get probably more than Joshua at this point.
60-40?
In favour of Fury, maybe.
That should be fair, right? But the reason for that is because one guy is more famous than the other? No. That's because he just has the belt. So you can't answer this question directly, because you cannot measure the real benefit that each fighter is bringing to the fight.
Quick prediction for the main event, Joshua Franklin?
I think it shouldn't be a big challenge for AJ.
Win by knockout?
Most likely, yes.
Alex, I always appreciate talking to you. You give me so much of your time. Thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We catch up soon.
Thank you.